Greetings, everybody. Hello. And let me get this live started over here on the Instagram side. How are you all? I'll just put this here for now. How's everybody doing? Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Let's see. Go live, comment oils. All right, I'm coming. I'm just setting this up here on Instagram. All right. Greetings. Hello. Greetings. We are live. We are live for our Culinary Oils Masterclass Day 2. So we are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. All right. And super excited to be here and super excited to join you all for a second night. All right. So for those of you who are joining, shout out your city. Shout out your city. Tell us where you from, where your people from, where your folks at. Shout out your city. I'm in the Atlanta area. Actually, I'm in the city of Atlanta and super excited to be here. So as we wait for folks to jump on, make sure that you shout out your city. And while you all do that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And actually, what I'll do here is I'll position this a little differently, just so that, I'm kind of looking in two places here. All right. So, welcome to all of you. I am Chef Bee. I am your lifestyle medicine coach and raw plant-based chef educator. I am the founder of Inyansapo Wellness Institute, and you might know some of the brands that I have, which is Essential Meals to Go, which is our plant-based meal service, and then also we have the Essentially Chef Bee brand, where we do health coaching, life coaching, all that good stuff. Well, I wouldn't say. Let me rephrase that. We do health coaching, so I am not a life coach. Let me be very, very clear. I am not a life coach. I am a health coach. Hello, Hasi. Greetings. And I am super excited to just support people with transitioning to a healthy diet. My specialty is helping people to transition to a plant based diet. And I do that by offering seasonal cleanses. I do that by offering meal prep, plant based meal prep. I do that by supporting folks in this capacity, which is, here doing different kinds of lives and things of that nature, master classes. I see all the love. I see all the love from you guys on Instagram. So thank you for the hearts. Tell me that you can hear me. Tell me that you can hear me. For those of you who are coming on, please shout out your city. Please shout out where you from. Please shout out where you at. I'm in Atlanta. I saw somebody else said that they're from Atlanta. So I just want to hear it. Wonderful. Thank you. I'm glad that you can hear us. Yes. And so just a little bit about me. I've been here in Atlanta for some time. And, I'm originally from Guyana, grew up in Brooklyn. And actually, what's interesting is a lot of the work that I do is steeped in the fact that growing up, we ate a lot of really good foods, but they weren't always the healthiest. So, like when I actually went to Guyana to visit folks, I was like, wait a minute, you know, we're eating a lot of rice. Oh, I see you, Ian the vegan. Guyana. I see the GT flag. Yes. I see someone from Romania. I see someone from Northern Cali. What? We international on this live? Oh my gosh. We international tonight? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We international. And so, with that energy of being international, if you actually think about the foods that people eat around the world, many of those foods, have a lot of sort of carbs, right? Starch, rice, breads. The world eats that, right? The world eats bread, the world eats rice. And it's good. It tastes delicious, right? And so, really, the work that I've been doing is how do we elevate some of those foods that we love, and I'm not saying that we have to get rid of those foods, but we definitely want to make sure that we're elevating those foods. And so, hence, Essential Meals to Go, which is my plant based meal service, the goal is to elevate the food, right? Yes, Ian, the vegan rice and baked yum. Oh, yeah, rice, bread, stuff that's fried, bread and rice is fried. Oh, my goodness. That's what we eat. That is what we eat. Bakes, yes, bakes. So in Guyana, y'all, there's something called bakes, right? And bakes is not necessarily baked; it's actually fried in oil. And we're gonna talk about that oil tomorrow, right? And so continuing on with this, I have been doing a lot of work, just trying to elevate the foods that I love, that I've grown up with, that are dear to me, and just giving people just a healthier option to those foods. All right. Yes, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I see you guys. I see you. And so, fast forward to maybe 7 years ago, I was introduced to essential oils. So I'm just sharing with you my background for those of you who are joining for the first time tonight. Okay, so the folks who've been on from last night, they heard some of this already. So maybe about 7 or so years ago, I was introduced to essential oils, not fragrance oils, essential oils. And I was very excited because those oils that I was introduced to were pure, potent oils. And so it made sense to me because I do raw foods, right? I do raw foods to be sure to I can add these essential oils to my food. And I didn't see a lot of people talking about this. And so because I didn't see a lot of people talking about this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is something that I can absolutely do for other folks and really educate them on how they can use essential oils in the culinary space. And so that is what led to this work. Yes. So in my essential oil education, I am very passionate about sharing with folks all things plant based and how you can elevate your food using essential oils, culinary oils. All right. So last night we set the stage for that conversation. And what we said in that conversation is that if we're talking about culinary oils, really what I mean by that is essential oils that you can use for cooking, and then we're going to also talk about everyday oils like coconut oil, vegetable oil, all of that. That's culinary oils, right? So these are the oils that we use for cooking. And so when we chatted last night on day one, we talked about some of the kinds of essential oils that people use for cooking, right? We talked about citrus oils and we also talked about herbaceous oils. All right. So tonight you guys are in for a treat, a Chef Bee treat. So we're going to talk a little bit about spiced oils. We're going to talk a little bit about spiced oils tonight. But actually, most of our masterclass tonight is going to be demos. We're going to demonstrate how to use these oils. So I have some things prepared for you, and we're going to demonstrate how to put some of these oils into action. and how to use these oils in your everyday culinary space as well. All right. Does that sound good? So I'm going to be demonstrating a few things. Some of it is based on what we discussed last night, but then some of them are new based on our conversation tonight. All right. So what I want to do is I want to first ask anybody who's joining, anybody at all who's joining, have you ever used essential oils in cooking? Have you ever used essential oils in cooking? All right. So I'm waiting for you guys to respond. Have you all ever used essential oils when cooking? Anybody want to share? Yes, no? Is this a new concept for you? Let me know. Drop a comment. Is this a new concept for you to use essential oils when cooking? Yes, I've never used any. Okay. So, Ian the vegan, are you saying this is a new concept for you? Yes, it's new. What brand of oils are safe? All right, so we're going to talk about that, Majesty. We mentioned it last night, but we're going to talk about that. Ian the vegan, are you saying that yes, this is a new concept for you? Or are you saying that, you do use essential oils when cooking? Okay, I think I see what you're saying. You're saying that you've used lavender and various citrus oils. Okay, that works. That works. Excellent. Yeah, a lot of folks don't do it, right? One, it's very, very important, just kind of coming back to some of the major points that we brought up last night, just some general sort of comments. When you are using essential oils in the culinary space, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the quality is there. So the brand that I use, A Majesty, I use doTERRA. All right. I use doTERRA. All right. Ian says, yes, it's new, but I tried only those two. Okay, great. I use an essential oil brand called doTERRA. And the reason why I use that particular brand is spelled DOTERRA is because that particular brand is super, super potent, is pure or pure. And I just really enjoy what the food tastes like because ultimately that's the deciding factor, right? The food has to taste good. And if the food tastes good after you use these oils and you kind of enhance your food, then it's like, why not, right? Yes. So you use doTERRA also. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, I want to kind of reiterate, the importance of seasonal eating, right? I want to really highlight that because we don't necessarily think about seasonal eating. Some people are thinking about it, but I wanted to make sure that we are very intentional with the foods that we're eating and the time of year that we're eating those foods. Okay. So in the vegan, also I don't use heated oil usually. Okay, cool. All right, good. I see McGee Palmer on here, but I'm cooking only for myself so I can experiment with things. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So one of the things I will say before we continue is when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're having a lot of fun. Alchemy, y'all, we're all alchemists, right? Cooking is an opportunity for you to experiment, and it's an opportunity for you to exercise some alchemy, right? And once I started thinking about that, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm an alchemist, right? So I'm a chef. I do all this mixing. And guys, if it doesn't taste good, so what? It doesn't taste good. Move on, try something different. So you want to really kind of get back into the flow of experimentation in the kitchen. We got to do it, right? We got to do it. We can't be afraid to experiment with foods. We can't be afraid to experiment with flavors. You actually might discover something that you absolutely didn't think that you would like combination wise, and that's because you experimented. Okay. So I wanted to just really highlight that. It's really, really important to experiment. Someone here basically talked about experimenting. They cook for themselves only. And so as a result, they experiment. So I think that that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. All right. So once again, last night we talked about citrus oils and we also talked about herbaceous oils. All right. So tonight I just wanted to highlight some spiced oils. All right. So last night we talked about various categories of oils, right? We talked about the citrus. We talked about the herbaceous. We talked about floral oils too, briefly. But now what we want to do is we want to talk about spiced oils. All right. So spiced oils can be broken down into two categories. Spiced oils can be broken down into two categories. Now, for those of you who are joining, make sure that you guys take some good notes. Make sure that you take some notes because we do give you guys giveaways, give you an opportunity to win some giveaways at the end of this, and so it's based on if you've been listening, right, and taking some really good notes. So back to this sweet spiced oils. So we have our sweet spiced oils, and then we have our savory spiced oils. Okay. So for our sweet spiced oils, we have ginger. Okay, so ginger is a sweet spiced oil. All right, that's fine. Cinnamon, cinnamon is another sweet spiced oil, or just a sweet spice. It's considered sweet, and we actually know cinnamon is one of those really interesting spices, essential oils, because actually it can stand in for sugar, right? So, for example, if you are diabetic, so one of the issues that diabetics have is, this insulin resistance, right? And so with that, you're encouraged to stay away from sugar because the glucose level in the blood is too high, right? And so cinnamon spice, cinnamon essential oil has been proven to, help with people who are diabetic because it actually helps with that sweet flavor. So it gives you a sweet flavor without sugar. Okay. So cinnamon is definitely something that you want to incorporate into your diet if that's something that you trouble with, right? We're going to actually even talk a little bit more about some of these um, spices and talk about it from a seasonal, emotional perspective, right? What kinds of things should you be working on now, using now, based on what you need support with? All right, another sweet spice is fennel. Okay, so we said ginger so far, fennel, cinnamon. Another one is nutmeg. Okay, another one is nutmeg. All right. So far we have ginger, cinnamon, fennel, nutmeg. Does anyone know what's the cousin to cinnamon? Because that's also on this list. Anybody know what's the cousin to cinnamon? Anybody? What is a spicy, sweet spiced oil or spice in general that is the cousin to cinnamon? Anybody know? Anybody know? Nope, it's not that. It's not that. Oh, I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all. All right, no. So that is not a cousin. All right, so someone mentioned clove. Clove is another sweet spiced oil or just a sweet spice, right? So the actual cousin to cinnamon is something called cassia. There's something called cassia, and that's spelled Cassia. Cassia. All right, so cardamom, that's another one that's a sweet spice or excellent, but it's not the cousin to cinnamon. If you actually looked at cinnamon and cassia side by side, they look very, very similar. They're part of a similar genus, plant genus, but cassia is actually stronger. It's more spicier than cinnamon. Okay, so actually, cassia, if you talk about a sweet spice that's hot, cassia will actually burn the lip when you actually try to, just put it on your lip. It's very, very spicy. Okay. So, no, cardamom, while it is a sweet spice, essential oil, and clove, while it is a sweet spice, essential oil, those are not cousins to cinnamon. What is the cousin to cinnamon? Cassia. All right. Cassia. All right, so you guys have a list of sweet spiced essential oils. Okay, you have a list of sweet spiced essential oils. All right, now for the savory essential oils, some of them are black pepper. All right, so black pepper is really, really wonderful with things like turmeric because there is an active ingredient in turmeric, which is also a savory spiced essential oil called curcumin. And in order to activate that anti-inflammatory property in curcumin or in turmeric, you need black pepper. Okay, so black pepper is a savory spiced essential oil. Pink pepper is one. Turmeric, as we mentioned earlier. Coriander is one. And then celery seed is also one. Okay, so we have our sweet spiced essential oil and our savory spice. So just a couple more words about this. Some of these essential oils that I've mentioned, they come from different parts of the plant. Does anyone know where black pepper and pink pepper come from? All right. When you think about when you buy like raw black pepper or even a pink pepper, what is it that you're actually buying? What are you actually buying when you buy black pepper or pink pepper? What are you actually buying? Does anyone know? What is black pepper and pink pepper? When you actually buy it, what are you buying? Then we'll talk about just these different plant parts where the essential oil comes from. Anybody know? Where is black pepper and pink pepper? Like, what is it? If you were to actually buy it at the store, what form do you actually buy it in? And I'm not talking about the powder. What is the form that the black pepper and the pink pepper are in? Anybody know? Okay, no takers, no takers. All right, it's the seed. All right, it's the seed. So write that down. Black pepper and pink pepper, it actually comes from the seed. Okay, good. The seed. Coriander is also the seed. All right, so if you actually bought, again, most of the time when we buy spices and herbs, we don't really see the actual plant. So it's hard for us to know what plant part it's coming from. But black pepper, pink pepper, coriander, those things, even celery, we mentioned celery seed. All of those are the actual seed. All right. And they're actually extracting the essential oil from the seed. Right. All right. Now, in regards to turmeric, things like turmeric and ginger, if you actually looked at those two, they look very much alike. They call them tubers. They're called tubers. Good. All right. So someone's saying that they buy those things whole. That's actually the best way to buy them, right? To buy it whole. All right. So if you're not using the essential oil, you want to try to buy them whole if you can, right? Because it's the flavor of the herb or spice, it actually holds it longer when you buy it whole. Okay. All right. So turmeric and ginger. Turmeric and ginger, they're tubers or roots. Exactly. They're tubers or roots. And so the essential oil is extracted from those roots or those tubers. Okay. Another one, cinnamon and cassia. Cinnamon and cassia, those are actual barks. So if you actually saw a tree, you have a tree, and basically what they do is they skin part of the tree, and when they skin, if you think about cinnamon, when you buy it, it looks like a piece of wood that's been wrapped in a coil, right? What they're doing is they're skimming some of that wood off of the tree, the cinnamon tree or the cassia tree, and then it just makes a coil when they pull some of it off. They're actually getting the essential oil from that part of the plant. All right, so it's called the bark. All right, it's called the bark. All right, clove. Another one, clove. If you actually look at a clove, it looks like a almost like a pin, right? And it has like a little head on it, right? And then they actually distill that. They steam distill most of these, and then they extract the essential oil from these different plant parts that we're talking about. So we mentioned the seed, we mentioned the root, we also mentioned the bark, right? And we also have nutmeg. Nutmeg is actually like a whole, looks like a nut, right? Looks like a nut. They're actually extracting the essential oil from that. All right, someone asked, it says black pepper in coffee grind is amazing. What about Mauby bark? So, I don't know much about Mauby bark in regards to if it's an essential oil. I've never heard of Mauby bark as an essential oil. Okay. So, with that, I'm not sure. So, let me say this, not everything can be made into an essential oil. That's just not the case, right? Everything cannot be essential oil. The reason why everything cannot be an essential oil because it's really around sustainability. So there's some plants that we have on the planet that while they might make a beautiful essential oil, if they were starting to be harvested and cultivated for that purpose, it would maybe die out the species. It's not a sustainable practice to make essential oils for everything. Now, things like lime, lemon, oranges, those are in abundance. They're in abundance. And so it's easier to make essential oils with things that are in abundance than things that are not. Okay. So Mauby bark, you can think about it. Do you hear Mauby bark people talking about Mauby bark a lot? No. If you're from the Caribbean where Mauby is a big deal, maybe. But I don't see Mauby bark every and anywhere, right? So that might not be something that, not saying that they can't be an essential oil for it, but an essential oil is not necessarily made for things that are not sustainable. Okay. All right. So we talked about our sweet spiced oils and we talked about our savory spiced oils. So as promised, tonight what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you some ways that we actually put these together. So some of the things that we talked about last night was dilution, right? And how do you dilute? And so in the same way that you have dilution when you're actually doing essential oils on the skin, there are some different ways that we can do dilution for essential oils that you're actually consuming. All right, so with that said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this off to the side here. I'm just going to put that here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my camera down like so you can see this. All right, so for those of you that are online, for those of you that are on Instagram specifically, tell me if you see this. You see a green mat? Do you guys see a green mat? Do you see my hands? Yes. Yes. Do you see my hand? Yes, yes, yes. All right, good. All right. So I'm going to show you a few things as it relates to these essential oils. All right. So first things first, what I want to show you is how you use these essential oils. There we go. How we use these essential oils in our beverage. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So let's just do it like this. Okay. All right. So I have here some water. So whenever you're using essential oils in your food, and particularly like if you have some water that you're drinking, make sure that they're in glass. This is very, very important. When you are putting essential oils into your food, particularly like a beverage, like what we're doing here, we don't want to use plastic. We don't want to use styrofoam. We don't want to use anything that's going to leach into our water. Okay. And so, two safe ways that you can use this would be glass, and then you can also use metal. Okay. So, like a little metal flask. All right. So, tonight, what I'm going to do here, I have grapefruit essential oil. So, we talked about this. Grapefruit is all about body harmony, right? Grapefruit is all about body harmony. And so, with that, when we are really working to create body harmony for ourselves, grapefruit is one of the essential oils that we might want to use. So, a simple way to use this is by adding this to your water. And literally, you just do this. This is what you do. We just take the essential oil and then we drop it in like what I just did, right? It gives this beautiful aromatic smell. And then what we do is this. We just do that and then drink. Yum. All right, so it's just that simple. You can add to this as well. You can add other flavors to make this like really kick it up some. You just don't have to use one a kind of essential oil. You can use different ones. All right, you can use different ones. So with that, what we're doing here is we're showing you how to use a citrus oil. You just add it to your water. If you had something like lemon or orange or anything, this is how you can use it for a beverage. Just add it to your water and then drink away. What I would say in terms of dilution ratio, you basically did like we did 1 to 2 drops of the grapefruit, and then you can add water all the way to the top. So that's about 32 ounces of water, and then we're good to go. All right. So you can drink up. So this is actually a really great strategy if you're not a big water drinker. Add an essential oil to your water, and it really just helps to change the flavor. And remember, we talked about alchemy, and we also talked about just things smelling really, really good and just being exciting. This is one of the ways that you can actually get your water in, with just some flair and some excitement. Okay, so that's the first one. All right, that's the first one. The second one, all right, the second one is, put it like this. The second one is we're actually going to make a seasoning. Okay, we're going to make like an all-purpose seasoning. Okay, so let me show you what's inside of my seasoning. So I'm using Himalayan salt. This is one of my go-to salts. It's not, like if you are hypertensive, you definitely need to be mindful about your salt. But this salt is actually cool because it's not a salty salt, right? So we call this the pink salt, right? And it's really a great salt just to have in your arsenal. I try my best not to use a ton of salt, but I have this, on deck just in case. All right, so we have dry. This is a dry dilution. Okay, this is a dry dilution because we're adding in salt. Okay, we also are going to add in. So I'm gonna do like a spicy seasoning. So you're asking, what is this? This is like a masala. This is like a masala, right? So I'm gonna add that in. I'm gonna add that in. So I just did like maybe 1 tablespoon of masala. They're different kind of masalas, right? So this is like a tikka masala. And then I'm also gonna add in, this is my garam masala. Now remember guys, I'm from Guyana. So, I deal with a lot of like spices from India and things of that nature. So we have the different kinds of, if you can see it there, we have our salt, we have our tikka, we have our garam masala. And then I'm gonna also add in here a little bit of cayenne, just a little bit. I want to give it a little bit of heat, right? So add that in, right? So just let you see, just do it like that so you guys can see. And then we're gonna add in some harissa. All right, so this is like my little world spice. So harissa, you find this in like northern Africa, right? So I'm actually blending 2 cultures with my spice. So we have harissa. I'm going to just add that there. Harissa, we have the masalas, the 2 different ones. We have a little bit of salt, right? And then what I'm also going to add in here is I'm going to add in some, a little bit of nutritional yeast, just a little bit. It just helps to kind of round out the flavor. It rounds out the flavor of my, you know, my spice. Yes, Indian and Africa and South America in general. Yeah, so that's really like my go-to. When I talk to people about my style, my style of cooking is Afro-Caribbean Asian fusion. Afro-Caribbean Asian fusion. So really, I think all of those flavors are amazing together. So now for the essential oil. So look at what we're going to do. We are going to use some of these oils that we talked about tonight. So we're using pink pepper. So I'll show you that. We're using some pink pepper. All right, we're going to add that in. We're also going to add in a little bit of fennel, just one drop, because I love the sweetness of fennel, and fennel is underrated. People don't really use it the way they could. So I'm using pink pepper. These have two different flavor profiles, and I actually really like using these two together. All right, so it gives me like a little spicy ness, and it just I just really enjoy having black pepper and pink pepper in my joint. All right, so I'll just stop there because I don't want to overdo it. All right, so this is what I typically do. So with the fennel, literally all I need is one drop. All right, sometimes two drops comes out, so you actually see the two drops there. And then my pink pepper, same thing, right? So we have about a drop. Mind you, we're diluting. I just want you to know this is a dry dilution, right? And so we're adding in, okay, this one, okay, it came out. All right, so now look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to mix it up. I'm just going to mix it up like so. Okay, now for you, when you do a seasoning like this, and I encourage you all to make your own seasonings. When you do a seasoning like this, what you want to do is you want to store it in a glass container. All right, so look at how beautiful that looks. Look at that. Okay. Oh my gosh. And when you smell it, you can smell the black pepper, you can smell the fennel, you can smell all of those lovely, lovely uh, aromatics from the essential oils. All right, so look, we made our seasoning, right? So look what I'm going to do. Look what I'm going to do. I have these jars that I absolutely love. Like I eat the yogurt. And then what I do is I keep them because they're nice and little. And then I can use it for different things. So this is one of the things that you can do. Remember, we want to store in glass. You can do glass or metal, right? And so I'm going to add my mixture, right? I'm going to add my mixture to this little glass jar. And then, if I made like a big batch, what I would be able to do is I would be able to, just like fill it up. And then you just use this whenever you want to, have this style or this flavor of food. So you just would make this mixture, or you make this mixture and then you would use this whenever you want this style of food. All right, so this is the proper way to store your spices that you make. You want to do glass containers. Again, we do not want these essential oils to leach. So this is a way that you can dilute with a dry ingredient. Notice that we added the essential oil, but we mix everything up. And by mixing everything up, it evenly distributes the essential oil to everything. Okay, so we now have our dry spice. All right, so that's that. Next thing up, we're going to make, we're going to actually make, we're going to make, I'm going to show you how to make something sweet, like a sweet spice sugar. All right. So I have my little bowl, see, and then I have some brown sugar. All right. So I'm going to maybe use I would say like two. Let me add a little bit more. All right. So this already has like really great flavor and aromatics on its own. Okay. But what we're gonna do here, show you, right? We're going to add, because you can do this too. This again is a dry dilution, but I wanted to show you how to make something sweet. All right, so someone's asking, this is beautiful. I will try this ASAP. Awesome. Does it help to add a few grains of rice to keep it dry? You can, absolutely. That's always a really good go-to, right? To add the grains of rice. My only concern about adding the grain of rice is this. All right, it's not like you're shaking the spice out from a shaker. You're using it for cooking. All right. So typically people add rice to like a shaker if you're like using like salt or pepper and you want to keep it like moving, right? If you're just using this for cooking, hopefully you don't make too much. You make enough so that you can make a fresh batch maybe once a month or something like that. The goal is to have fresh spices that you made on your own terms, right? You don't want to have stuff just sitting, because remember, those essential oils are going to evaporate over time. So you want to capture the essence of it as soon as possible. All right. So you do not want to just kind of make a big batch and then like you can't finish it. Make smaller batches and then refresh, like I would say once a month. All right. So we have our brown sugar here. And what I'm going to do, because it is the holiday season coming up, look at what I'm going to add here. Guys, I got all the culinary oils. I got all of them. So we're adding clove. Clove is very spicy. You said that was one of our spicy sweet oils. But I think like when you're baking, this is actually a really lovely oil to use when you're baking. So look what I'm doing here. I'm adding 1 drop. I added 1 drop. It smells good. Now, again, I'm from the Caribbean, right? And one of the things that I love, y'all, we have just like a lot of holiday festive foods. And it's usually a mixture of certain kinds of spices. So look what I just add in here. The ginger. Ginger is actually one of my go-to essential oils when I cook. All right. So ginger. So we added clove in here. We also added ginger to this sugar. We're making like a sweet, spicy sugar. Okay. Boom. All right. So we got that in. And then I'm going to also add in here one of my favorites, cinnamon. Okay. We're going to add in some cinnamon. Okay. Again, all we did was 1 drop. Nothing more, nothing less, right? We're not overdoing it. A little goes a long way. Boom. There goes our 1 drop. We actually saw that cinnamon drop in there. All right, so look, real simple, right? Boom. Now, let me say something about cost effectiveness. When you're using something like this, like so, this is a little shoo-shoo woo-shoo, but these essential oils last for a very long time. One of the benefits in using these essential oils over the actual spice, like let's say you had a bunch of spices at the house, but you haven't used them in a while. One, they might be hard when you actually use them, or they might have lost a lot of their zest, their flavor, their smell, their aromatics. So the essential oil, as long as you keep that bottle tight, you won't lose that. And so what happens is when you think about your cost per drop, notice we just added 3 drops, one of each for the different essential oils that we are using here. So clove, we added 1 drop of ginger, right? And then we added 1 drop of cinnamon, all right? And so with that, the cost per drop is actually really, really affordable. So if you're one of those people like, oh my God, you got to go out, you got to buy the spices, put everything together, and you just didn't have the time to do that, this is another way that you can actually get those beautiful aromatics, but not spend a bunch of money, all right? So once again, we would take this. I'm actually just going to reserve it to the side, but y'all, you should smell this. It's amazing. Real simple, but I mean, just the smell of the holidays. We have in here ginger, clove, cinnamon, and then some brown sugar. This will be wonderful if you're baking cookies, gingerbread cookies, oatmeal cookies. The flavors in here are incredible. Okay. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to put that to the side. All right, now I'm going to actually make something beautiful for you all, right? I'm going to make something beautiful for you all. So I think you're going to be excited about this preparation. Okay. So this is my big finale. This is the big finale. All right. So for those of you who are watching, what I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to put some of this stuff to the side so I can do it little by little. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a wet dilution. I'm going to show you how to do a wet dilution. Okay. All right. So first things first. Let me put this here. First things first, right? We have a bowl. We have a bowl. And I'm going to add a little bit of honey to the bowl. Now, y'all, I'm plant-based. I love me some honey, though. I love honey. And I know that folks who are vegan, they don't mess with honey, but I really like honey. All right, so look what I'm doing. I added a little bit of honey, not much, a little bit of honey to the bowl. And then now I'm going to add in some water. So this is just water. Y'all see that? So what I'm demonstrating now for you is a wet dilution. All right, so a wet dilution, somebody is just jumping on. We are showing you how to put your essential oils into your food properly. One, so that you're not overwhelming the flavor of the foods that you're making. All right. So this is, we've just demonstrated two dry dilutions, one for a savory mix and one for a sweet mix. Now we're going to demonstrate how to do a wet dilution. So wet meaning we're using liquids as opposed to something that's granulated, right? And so we have the honey. You could use agave if you don't like to use honey. You can use whatever sweetener of choice that you want. That's a liquid, all right? So we have a little bit of honey, and then we also have a little bit of water. All right, so now look what we're going to do. We're going to mix this up. We're going to mix this up like so. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So so you can even do like a simple syrup, right? And a simple syrup is basically just you getting sugar. You basically take 1 part sugar to 1 part water, and then you cook it together. I just didn't want to use sugar. I wanted to use something that was a little bit more healthier. All right, so look what I have here, y'all. Look at this. All right, so we're basically just stretching our honey. All right, we're stretching our honey. Look at that, right? So this is our honey and our water, right, together. Okay. And then look what I'm going to do now. Look what I'm going to do now, right? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some citrus essential oil. So these are some different ones. This is called green mandarin. This is called green mandarin. So if you think about your mandarin orange, so just imagine this. This is a mandarin orange. This is a mandarin orange. Just imagine this, but green. In other countries, your oranges are not yet orange like this. They're usually green on the outside and then orange on the inside. Okay. So green mandarin looks just like this, but green. Okay. All right. So we're going to add in 1 drop. We're going to add in 1 drop of the green mandarin. It smells so good too, y'all. All right. We're going to add in 1 drop of lemon. We're going to add in 1 drop of lemon. There we go. All right, so it's a little bit more than 1 drop. All right, we're going to add that in. All right, and then we also have another essential oil here. This is red mandarin. So the red mandarin is very much like what you guys just saw, right? But it's just a redder tone. So it looks similar to this, but it has a redder tone. So this is red mandarin. Okay. So I'm giving my food this just beautiful flavor profile. Okay. All right. So that's in there. Okay. So now look, if you smell this, y'all, it's amazing. It has this wonderful citrus smell. Okay. It has this wonderful citrus smell. All right. So now look what I'm going to do. Look what I'm going to do. Right. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put that off to the side. Put that to the side. And I'm going to take one of these oranges or mandarins. And because the skin is so thin, right, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just slice this up just a little bit. Look at that. Right? Can y'all see that? Okay. So just a little bit, not much. I don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. We just want a little bit of the rind. So here's what I'm doing. Remember what I said yesterday. When you're making foods, you might want to create something completely different. And by adding not only the essential oil, you also add the actual thing that the essential oil comes from, gives it like this incredible profile, right? So look at this. We have the rind, right? We have the rind. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it to this mixture like so. I'm going to add it to the mixture like so. Boom. So look, right? All right. So why did I do all of this? Why did I do this? So look what I'm about to do next. I have these beautiful, let me show you. I have these beautiful berries. And one of the things that I like about berries, berries are wonderful, but I also find that sometimes we don't really get to taste the amazingness of the berries because we don't have anything to help bring that flavor out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add that the berries to this mixture. All right? And then just toss it. Oh, y'all, you're going to see how this comes together. It's going to be so pretty. All right? So what this is doing is we're infusing the citrus essential oils into the berries. So remember what we had. We had red mandarin, we had lemon, we had green mandarin. Then we actually even used the rind, the actual rind. All right, super dope. And then we had a little bit of honey and a little bit of water. All right, so boom. What's going to happen is this is going to begin to macerate. Macerate just means it's going to break down a little bit, just a little bit, because the sugar, the sweetness from the honey is going to start breaking down the berries, and it's going to create like a little syrup, like a little berry syrup. Okay. All right. So let me taste one. Mmm. So good. Oh my God. Y'all should taste this. So good. All right. So there we go. Those are our berries. Now, look what I'm about to do. So I'm going to bring those back in a second. Now, this is one of the things that I like for breakfast, right? I love using yogurt. So this is a dairy-free yogurt. It's made with silk. So it's almond base, right? And it has vanilla already in it. It has vanilla already in it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spoon out just a little bit of it. I'm going to spoon out just a little bit of it and add it to my bowl like this. Yeah, I mean, guys, I want you to try this recipe. Please, please try this recipe. It's so good. It's so wonderful. All right, now look what I'm going to do. Again, wet dilution. Wet dilution. I want this dish to have the actual yogurt. I want this yogurt to have the flavor of either the red mandarin, you guys can select, or we could do green mandarin. Let's just use green mandarin. I have more of the green mandarin. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of the green mandarin, and you can actually see the oil in there. You can see it. Y'all see that? And then what we're going to do is stir. We're going to stir it in. Okay? We're going to stir it in like so. So it's already naturally sweetened, right? We're basically just stirring in that beautiful green mandarin in here. Okay? So, guys, you can get so fancy, right? With these essential oils, you can get so fancy. All right? All right. I see you, Cassandra, just joining. How are you, young lady? Hello, hello. Greetings to everybody that's jumping on. All right. So, look, we have that, right? So, we have our green mandarin essential oil stirred in here. If we wanted to, we could also use some of this, which is the rind, right? We could do that too. Give it that really beautiful flavor. So we can just do that, right? And you want to be fancy, right? So we add in a little bit of that. Okay, and now what we're also going to do is we're going to add in. So this is like a little, what do we want to call this? This is like a little international bowl. So I don't know if you guys know. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what this is? This fruit? Anybody? Does this look familiar? What do you think this is? Anybody? What is this fruit? Let me cut it while you guys think about it. Maybe if you saw the inside, you'll know. Okay. Does anyone know what this fruit is? Take a look at the inside. All right. What is it? Seven Bliss Massage. What is the name of this fruit? What is the name of this fruit? Okay, so you might have seen it at the store. Okay. This fruit actually has a white inside and it also has a red inside. So this is the white inside. All right, yes, some people said dragon. Yes, it's a dragon fruit. All right, so let's take a look, right? So we're making something fancy. I'm making something fancy for you guys tonight. Fancy schmancy, okay? So we have our yogurt, right? We have our yogurt. Then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some kiwi, okay? Y'all, when you're eating your food, you got to just be excited about that process. So look what I'm doing. I'm actually making a little fancy design here for you guys, right? Look at this, right? When you're eating your food, I'm all in. I'm making fancy stuff. I'm just feeling it, okay? We want this to be gorgeous. We want this to be just, you want to eat with your eyes, right? And so we want to just make sure that it's as beautiful as possible. And also you put a lot of good intention into what you're making. All right, so notice what I did. Made these little zigzags. And then what you do is you just pull it apart. And then look at that. Beautiful, right? So we have this. So I'm going to actually put one right there, right? I'm going to put one right there. And then I'm going to place one of these right here, like so. Okay, y'all see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to take some of these berries. I'm going to take some of these berries. And I'm going to put some of the berries right here, like so. So it's like a gift. This is like a gift. Okay? This is like a little gift. Look at that. How beautiful is this? All right, so this is my final product. This is my final product. Well, almost final. What do you guys think? Oh, somebody said this is a vital bowl. Okay. Yes. So take a look. Those people who are on here, some people say it's a vital bowl. Okay. Okay, yes. If you want to call it that, no problem. You could call it a vital bowl. And then I'm going to add a little bit of some more color to this, right? We could even add a little bit more of that. Here we go. There we go. What you think? Did I do okay, guys? Now look, the flavor of this thing, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. If you taste this, when you taste this, oh my goodness, just the flavor from eating this with all these amazing essential oils. Yeah, I have so much fun in the kitchen when I do this. So much fun. All right. So those are my demos. I wanted to show you this. Now, before we wrap up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give you guys an opportunity to get some giveaways. Okay. So I'm going to put this to the side. I know some folks are a little jealous because they're not going to eat this tonight, but I am. Look at that. Right. So I'm going to put that there. So what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the following. I want to talk about the following, okay? So we talked about these sweet and spiced oils and sweet spice oils and savory spice oils. I quickly just want to tell you what some of these are good for right now. So remember we talked about eating in the seasons, right? We talked about that. And with you eating in the seasons, you want to definitely make sure that you're bringing in some of these essential oils because they help you with different things. Okay. All right. Let's see. Before we get started with that, let's see when it's beautiful like that, you don't want to mess it up. Yes, that's so true. Seven Bliss Massage. You're right. All right. So quickly, fennel. We talked about fennel being a sweet spice oil. And if you are working on responsibility, if you're working on your responsibility, this is an essential oil that you want to bring into your diet. Okay. So, responsibility, fennel. Okay. Clove. If you are someone that's having a difficult time setting boundaries, all right, if you have a difficult time setting boundaries, then you want to consider using the essential oil clove. Okay. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is super good for like cultivating sexual harmony. All right. So if you are one that is really working on your sexuality, sexual harmony in the body, then you definitely want to bring cinnamon into your repertoire. All right. Another one that you should know about is black pepper. Right. We talked about black pepper. Black pepper is really good for unmasking. Like if you're really working on just being truth to yourself, right? True to yourself, you want to bring black pepper into your repertoire as well. All right, turmeric. Turmeric. This is now we're moving to the savory spice. Turmeric is good for restoration, and we kind of see that with turmeric. Turmeric is really a great anti-inflammatory, so it helps to heal. It helps to heal inflamed bodies, right? That turmeric is really, really powerful. So it is the oil of restoration. All right. Trying to see what else we have here. So we mentioned black pepper, we mentioned turmeric, and coriander. That's the last one here. If you're working on integrity, coriander is the oil of integrity. All right. So, for those of you who weren't here last night, one of the things that we talked about was that these essential oils and spices are connected to your emotional body, right? And with it being connected to your emotional body, there are specific things that you are getting from them as it relates to your emotion. So, if that's something that you're working on, these are some of the essential oils that you might want to consider. There's a slew more, but I just named a few for you all. Okay, I named a few for you all. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions at all? Let me just kind of look back at the feed and see any questions. All right. Yes, I'm looking. People, y'all were getting everything that we were talking about. Excellent. All right. So now, giveaway time. Giveaway time. All right. So tonight we're doing something a little different. We're going to actually give away some of these spices that we've created. All right. So we made a sugar spice and then we made a savory spice, right? So this was our sugar spice and this was our savory spice. So what we're going to do is we're going to give those away. Okay? All right. Now, let me go back and look here. All right. So the questions. All right, so let me see if I can think of a really good question for you all as it relates to these spice oils. All right, so I got the first one. So I want you all for the sweet spice mixture, right? So we'll make one for you and then we'll get it to you in the mail. For the sweet spiced oils, I want you to name me 4 sweet spice essential oils. All right. So we talked about a few, but name 4 of them for me. All right. So I'm waiting to see who's going to act first. Name 4 sweet spiced essential oils. Let's see what y'all come up with. I love these things here. All right, I see the hearts. Come on, folks. I need 4 sweet spice oils. All right, let's see. Ian the vegan, ginger, fennel, nutmeg, clove, cardamom. What's cardamom? Well, look, you got it. You got 4 out of the 5. Cardamom. I don't know what cardamom is. You mean cardamom. I'm just messing with you. Yes, Ian the vegan, you win. All right, so ginger, fennel, nutmeg, clove, and cardamom. All right, and then also in there is clove. Did we say clove? Clove and let's see what else. Clove and yeah, so we got them all. All right, so you won. Ian the vegan, you won. So you get the sweet spice, the sweet essential oil sugar. All right, you get that essential oil infused sugar. All right, for the savory spiced mixture. All right, so we made one up for you here, right? We made one up for you here. I want you to name four savory spiced essential oils. All right, so come on, folks. All right, name four savory spiced essential oils. What you got? What you got? Give me four savory spiced essential oils. All right, come on. Yes, congratulations to you, Ian. The vegan folks are saying congratulations. Oh, okay, Emmy, me, black pepper, turmeric, pepper. Okay, I said four. I need one more. I need four. You only gave me three. All right, coriander. Yes. All right, Emmy, me. You got it. You got it. All right. So for those of you who won, make sure that you DM me your information and I will get those out to you. All right, y'all. So you guys learned quite a bit. You guys learned quite a bit. You learned how to, introduce your essential oils into your water. We talked about dry dilution. We talked about wet dilution, and we made something beautiful. Look at this. I'm so proud of this. I know the family's gonna want to eat. Yes. So, yes. If you all have any questions about any of these things, please let me know before we jump off. Remember, we have one more night of our essential oils, our culinary oils and essential oils class. And so join me tomorrow night at 7:30 and we'll get into now cooking oils. All right, so that's number one. Number two, remember we have the palate reset coming up. The palate reset is my signature seasonal cleanse that happens, twice. Well, I do it every season, but like for example, this season is coming up, the winter cleanse. You basically will get two opportunities to do it. All right, so you choose which of those two opportunities you want to do the cleanse. So our next cleanse is on December 20th to the 29th, and then we have one coming on January 10th to the 19th. So again, I mentioned this last night. One of the new features of the cleanse is you can just do the guided cleanse and you get the ebook, you get all the herbs, you get all the tools, and then you make the dishes. But then we also know that for folks, again, if you're in Atlanta, people do not have the time. And so we are also now offering it where we do the meal prep for you. This is only available if you are in Atlanta, though. All right. If you're not in Atlanta, but you want to do a seasonal cleanse with me, you want to learn more about just all the tools that you need to do a nice cleanse over a 10-day period, this is the cleanse for you. It's called the Palate Reset. Okay. So if you are interested in learning more about the Palate Reset, along the ticker, for those of you who are on Instagram, it's the Palate Reset. But for those of you who are joining us on YouTube, Facebook, it's just thepalatereset.com. All right, thepalatereset.com. All right, that's number one. Number two, for those of you who are nationwide, we also have the Essential Meals to Go plant-based meal service. Y'all know how much I love cooking healthy foods for you guys. And our motto is we do international flavors delivered to your door. So I'm bringing that Guyanese, Afro-Caribbean, Asian fusion vibe to the food. I'm bringing all that good, healthy energy to the food, that love to the food. So if you live in Atlanta, if you live close to Atlanta, if you live in another state, we got you. All right, we got you. So we ship, we deliver, and you have the opportunity to pick up. All right, 7 Bliss Massage. I'm gonna have to send it to you because I can't type it because it's not gonna allow me to do that right now. Essential Meals to Go, the number 2go.com. Just inbox me, DM me if you have questions about any of the things that I mentioned. All right. And so those are just two of our offers, two of the things that we do. And so if you have any questions about any of the things that we do over here at Inyansifo Wellness Institute, please reach out. I would love to share what I do and just continue to bless up everybody. All right. Oh, by the way, look, this is something I forgot to put on my stuff. I forgot, y'all. Goji berries. Look at this. How could I forget? I added my goji berries. Bomb. Okay. I added my goji berries. Had to do it. Essential meals to go, the number 2 go, essential meals to go. So for those of you who are like, oh, pin it, pin it. If you go to my Instagram page, just hit the link in bio. You'll see everything that I do. You'll see everything that I do. So just go to the link in bio and you'll see everything there. Okay. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun hanging out with you all. This was wonderful. We're gonna eat up the wonderful dish that we made. I'm gonna just put this to the side. The family is eyeing it. They eyeing it, so they want some. There it is. And so I'm really excited about trying that, and then also getting these in the mail for you guys so that you can see how these essential oils really help to shake up and wake up the flavor of some of these seasonings and these foods and things of that nature. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, in regards to what you experience when you try this for yourself. Okay. So, any questions before we jump off? Any questions before you jump off? So I'll say this, if you are someone that has essential oils in your home, for your homework, I want you to just take one essential oil, just take one and add it to your water or add it to your food. I showed you what to do. Right? Add this to your food and then come back and tell me, what you think. If you're interested in buying essential oils from me, you can go to my page. It's called essentiallychefbee.com. All right. You can go there and you can get your essential oils and then you can use it for whatever you need to use. Okay. Use it for. All right. Oh, yes. No problem. 7 Bliss Massage. DM me if you got any questions about anything. Thank you so much for your time and sharing with us. Absolutely. Beautiful people, I will see you tomorrow night for our last night of the masterclass. Much love to you. Do something a little different that you haven't tried before in your kitchen. Try these essential oils. Try to incorporate something different, like a different fruit, a different vegetable. Eat seasonal. Come on, y'all. This stuff is not hard. It's just the will and the passion to do some of it, right? And so hopefully with these classes, you guys are getting some ideas to try something a little different than you might not have thought about before. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. Much love, kisses and hugs. And I am over and out.